Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner and to a Cardfight deck profile. And this is going to be my second attempt at doing an update for Gear Chronicle post Try 3 Next, as the last time I uploaded this video I had to take it down because I was only running 14 triggers and that's kind of not allowed. So we're doing this again with proper triggers, but I'm not going to be as thorough with this deck profile as I have been in the past because not a whole lot has really changed. I'm even going to provide links to the previous builds of this in the description box below. And I'm just really going to talk about what's different in this list from the last couple. And basically just try and make this a not 20-minute video like it would be with, say, Vanquisher or Asha or Night Rose. So, that being said, let's break this down. So, for the starting Vanguard, we're running Chrono John because TikTok Worker is at 1 and can no longer be used as a starter, but you still run this thing because it's stupidly good. And then Chrono John himself has his uses. You're mostly going to be calling the Chrono Jet to the back row because you want to leap the Drawn into Mellum and start your combo. Then for the 3s, 4G and 4 original and 2 Chrono Jets. You run 4. I'm running 4G because I feel like he's just the better Chrono Jet, but the original Chrono Jet still has its uses. The Gen Break 2 is not as powerful as it used to be because of G guards, but the Tuck skill is still relevant versus the Mirror Match, Grand Blue, and Control decks where they need to just keep a card on the board. Then you can just tuck it away like the Limit Breaker movement for like Joker. Then for the remaining grade 3, I'm running 1 copy of Steam Maiden Amy, who is a 10k, which is unfortunate, but on Vanguard Rearguard Circle, she is a Generation Break 114 attacker. So this plus any 7k booster is a 21 column, which is a really nice number to be hitting for. And another skill, when she is placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, she becomes a grade 1, so you can time leap her into a 2. This is not Gen Break restricted either, so if you're playing, say, the Ride Chain, you have the potential to leap this if at all possible. I'm not playing the Ride Chain because it's honestly not good, but there's just that little interaction, but she's a combo piece. Then for the grade 2s, this one I will take a moment to talk about, and that is I'm running 4 10k vanillas. This is a trend you may have seen in a lot of Japanese deck lists and perhaps some recent deck lists over here. You see it with Gear Chronicle, Luard. I think some Asha decks run it. I'm not sure. I've been thinking about running it in mine. But basically the idea is you're playing a Generation Break deck, so you're inherently slower than a non-Gen Break deck such as Sentry Guard. And generally speaking, the strategy against Gen Break decks is to just throw your hand down on the board and just rush them as fast as possible because they have to use up a lot of cards to not die quickly, as you need to get the stride before you can start doing things. By having a 10k Vanguard, you're able to block their attacks easier, as typically most rearguard lines, at least in the early game, is going to consist of a 9+5 Vanguard, so that's 14. A 10k shield will no past that. And if they, say, call their starter to the side and throw a 9 in front of it, that 14 line can be blocked with any 5k. And if they're playing a deck that's able to form 19 columns on turn 2, like Musketeers or any other subclan like that, then you can stop that 19 line with a 10 shield, because you're 20. It just makes it easier to defend against that, and if your opponent's trying to grade 2 game, then you can have your bigger grade 2 Vanguard, and it's a bit more difficult for them to hit you. So, if you're playing a Generation Break deck, and you're having trouble dealing with early game rushes, try some 10k vanillas. They do good. Likewise, this is a Zodiac Time Beast, so he has synergy with G's Generation Break 2. He becomes an 11 on the side, and he also has synergy with one of my other strides. Then 4 History Maker Dragon, 2 Calibum, 1 Delay Blazer Dragon, and 1 Upstream Dragon as the things I can pull out of the deck during my combos. But I'm only running the 1 of each because I don't want to draw multiples. 4 Perfect Guards for the 1s, 3 Mellums, 3 Stride Fodders, and then for the 1-ofs, 1 Meshkia, 1 Tickaway Dragon, and 1 Lishma. So, Meshkia, when she's called by the effect of Time Leap from the deck, you can tap her to give a unit 3k power and then you get a draw. Tickaway Dragon, we already know, he reloads your deck, and Lishma, I always get these two mixed up. Lishma's skill is Soul Blast 1. After she boosts the Vanguard, you can discard a card to Time Leap her. And when she's called back from Bind Zone, you can Counterblast 1 to draw a card. So she's an initial neg, but you can combo with her, and the first skill is not Gen Break restricted, so it's possible to get a Time Leap off in battle phase. But more often than not, I have her usually boosting my Chrono Jet, and then afterwards I do the play, discard, leap her. I call Delay Blazer Dragon, who then leaps my History Maker Dragon or my Calibum into my Amy, who then swings for 14 or 21 if I've got a booster behind it. Depends if I was able to use this to put my grade 2 at plus 3,000 and thus be able to hit the Vanguard without a booster with that play in mind. And that is it for the 3s, 2s, and 1s for the triggers. 4 Heart Thump Worker and 2 Zodiac crits, 3 Zodiac draws, 4 Zodiac heals, 2 Gear Cat stands, and 1 Urbatar stand, because Urbatar is still busted, and these stands combo with Head or Hound Dragon allow you to have really good defensive power, and generally speaking, you want to end your combo plays with a cat or 2 in play, depending on the matchup. Like if you're up against Shadow Paladin and you fear the Phantom Blast or Diablo, then you'll want to have the 2 cats so that you can put your Vanguard up to 31,000, plus Head or Hound puts you to 46, which is enough to 2-pass tip most Diablos. Then for the strides, 4 next stage, 3 Warp Drive Dragons, 2 Revolutions, 1 Phoenix, and 1 Altar Dragon. So this is the newest addition to the extra deck, and he is a Zodiac Time Beast and a Gear Colossus, so he will work with both the Zodiac Time Beast deck and the Gear Colossus deck, obviously. And his skill is, you can stride him normally, or you can counterblast 1 and choose a Zodiac Time Beast from your hand and bind it. And in doing so, you may stride this guy. So it's just another stride you can go into. Admittedly, he works better in builds that run Gear Groovy because you can bind something and then bring it back with Panglong, but I'm not running Gear Groovy, so he's not as powerful in this list, but he's still useful because you can flip anything face up to look at the top 5 cards of your deck and bind up to 2 cards among them. And for each card in your bind zone, he gains 2k power, and if you have 5 cards bound, he gains a counter charge. That's whatever. I've used the skill a couple times, mainly just to set up Generation Break 2, so that my Jet G just gets bigger, and to filter out potential bad draws during my drives, because one of the worst things that could happen is, when you're attacking with your Vanguard, and you check an irrelevant card, an irrelevant card, and an irrelevant card, so you can just use this guide to look at the top 5 and filter out things like an extra copy of Calibum, or if you've already drawn enough vanillas, you can buy one of those out and potentially improve your chances of getting to a trigger check or something, since you're shuffling the deck. I don't know what the mathematics is, but it increases your percentages just a tiny bit. Then 1 Sabreeze, because you're playing a G deck, and then for the G guards, 2 Head or Hound Dragons, 1 Orphana, and 1 Uluru. And that's pretty much it for the deck. Like I said, this is a rather short video, but that's because not a whole lot really needed to be explained. We know what Calibum and History Maker Dragon and Melum do. They're kind of the salt of the earth right now. Not Calibum, but History Maker and Melum are the salt of the earth. And that's pretty much all I got to say. As far as what I'm going to change for when Fighter Selection comes out, I'm honestly not sure, because that Generation Break 8 has to do something really stupid to make me want to run it, because honestly, if you're at the point where you're Generation Break 8 with Gear Chronicle, your opponent should be dead, or you'll probably be dead because you couldn't kill them. Like, to be a Gen Break 8, you will have to resolve 2 next stages, a Phoenix and a Warp Drive, potentially another one of each. If they're somehow still alive after that, I don't know what's going on. But that's the deck list. And as for what you can expect for the future, I don't have anything immediately done, as Asha is proving to be very difficult to build for obvious reasons. And my Luar deck that I've been currently working on, actually, let's take a look at it. Sneak preview, I guess. My Luar deck is still a very long ways from being done. I still need to get the better perfect guards for this. I need to get Plot Maker Dragons, and we have set 10 coming up, and I imagine the new Owl critical trigger is going to be very difficult to get, because it's a Shadow Paladin card, and it's a good Shadow Paladin card, so it will be unreasonably expensive. So those 2 will be on the back burner, plus Yu-Gi-Oh's got some actual product coming up that I want, the Dinosaur Structure deck in particular. But I'm going to at least try and get the Asha deck done by May, as I really just need to get 2 Noels and 2 Gen... just one Gen Rare, as I already have the Ashas more or less ready to go. I will be getting them at some point, and I just need to get 2 more perfect cards, but I already think I have those on order. Like, it's going to take some time, but we will eventually get there. And then after that, we just wait for Ruby Labyrinth, and hopefully Night Rose won't cost an arm and a leg to build. One can only hope. Anyway, that's all for then, though. For the right away, though, I'm probably not going to be doing anything immediate, as this is out, and I've been oh so excited to play this. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap up the video here and get cracking on Persona 5. Until the next time, this is Blue Star 899, jacking out.